I think what people have to realize is this is not necessarily a vacation.
No.
Tell me the mission
Hardly.
and why you want to do this.
So honestly, for me, it morphed as I was going. So in the beginning, it was just for me. Like, I wanted to visit every country where I'm super curious. I grew up in a house with a globe, atlas, 2 sets of encyclopedias. By the time I graduated high school, I'd been to 8 countries. So like I was just traveling. When I decided to set that goal of my 35th birthday, that was in Bali. Indonesia was my 60th country. So like, I was already like very much in it. And so for me, it was driven by my curiosity. I'm just super curious. I wanted to see how people live all over the world. But then as it started going and press was picking up and my audience was growing and people were telling me, oh my God, like I'm so inspired. And I'm like, what? All I'm doing is getting on and off planes. What do you mean? I don't understand how you're inspired. Because I've always been someone who just goes for it.
But travel's about education as well.
It's about education for sure. And that's the thing for me. It's like even coupled with my background, so going to the London School of Economics, having that political and economic history of the world, working for the UN, having parents who are immigrants, and that all came together to make the experience incredibly rich for me. And I'm also a writer. So for me, it allowed me to sort of tell stories about places that many people have never heard of.
Yeah.
And places that most people have never been to. So that was so incredible because people would say, I've never heard of this country, or, oh my gosh, that's what North Korea really looks like, or that's what Saudi Arabia is really like. So it just turned into this thing where I've always wanted to be a teacher, but that doesn't support my lifestyle.
But you've become a teacher.
Yeah, exactly. And I've always wanted to do it. And so it really morphed into this thing where the journey became bigger than me. And I remember I was in Mali, which was country 154, and I was kind of down. I was really looking forward to going to Mali, and I wanted to go to this place, Jenne, but because of like guerrilla war, there was just a bunch going on. There was like some instability in the country, so I couldn't get to certain places that I wanted to go, and I was just frustrated, and I was exhausted, and I'd met this photographer. We went to the market and he was telling this group of guys about me and they're like, oh my God, c'est pas vrai, c'est incroyable. Like, it's not true. It's incredible. And I'm like, yeah. And then one of them said, c'est pas pour toi, c'est pour nous. It's not for you, it's for us. Talking about the journey. And honestly, like that lit a fire under me. Even though people had been reaching out and DMing and emailing, them saying that lit a fire under me. And it was like, okay, I want to quit right now. But because at that point, I still had 41 countries to go to.
You can't quit.
Right, exactly. And I was like, public failure? No, thank you. And so, but that really pushed me because I saw in that moment, like, yeah, this is so much bigger than me. And it means so much more to other people than it even means to me. And that's okay. Because it got to the point where I just feel like I'm a vessel. And not just for like Black people to see themselves, for women. I've been to 89 countries solo across 6 continents. But for everyone, I hope that what people get from my journey is not necessarily like go see every country in the world because it's expensive and exhausting.
Yep.
But I think it's about, showing people that you can dream a little bit bigger. And like, if you have a dream, go after it, That was my dream, but yours is something different.
How many languages do you speak?
So I would say French is my second language. I speak some Spanish, Portuguese, and Italian.